What's going on, YouTube? Is Donnie B all day. I am bringing you something from Frost Cutlery today. I don't bring you a lot of stuff from Frost Cutlery, but I'm going to today, and I have a few more pieces that I'd like to show you. This is the Little Elk Skinner with black packelwood handles and a stainless steel blade. The thing is 8 3/4 inches overall with a 4.5 inch blade, which is a very attractive piece. Now, this piece is dirt cheap. This is, $10 to $15 online all day, every day. And you got to think to yourself, why is it so cheap? Is it going to be so brittle that it's going to break in my hand just holding it? And I have to say, what they do is they cut in areas where other people don't, so they can keep their prices down. For instance, we have right here a hen and rooster blade, right? This hen and rooster skinner is phenomenal. It's German stainless steel, which is a high-end, high-carbon steel. This is just plain stainless steel. It's like a 420. The handles between one to the other are significant. Both full tank construction. You can see the blade thickness on the hen and rooster is so much bigger, and the scales are wider. And these aren't wood. It's like a what is it, G10 or micarta, one of the two, something like that. I think it's black micarta, and they are so well done and comfortable. And this edge is a to die for type edge. Besides that one, you have this one, the Saddle Mountain Skinner from Benchmade. And again, you're talking about high-end steel. This has got the, the S30V steel. Insane edge. I mean, you have freaking double jimping with decorative palm wide jimping, whatever you want to call it. The wood is so beautiful. Now, looking at the blade thickness, you can see that the blade itself is still thicker. As far as grip, here's something I gotta say. These are really, really thin, right? It's really, really narrow when you look at it, compared especially to the hen and rooster. There's not a lot to grip on there. Now, when you put this next to the Frost grips wider, and while it feels not as good, this actually has a more I don't know, high-end feeling, I guess you could say. But this one is actually thicker than that one in the scale. So I have to say that scale-wise, this one feels better. However, let's look at handle length. You see the difference there? My pinky fits on this one where it doesn't on this one. And you have this jimped area here. You have a heavy jimped area here, which gives you something to grip when you put your pinky on there, but it's fairly abrasive. Now you look at the handles here and here, right? This one is just about the same size. The difference is this is insanely comfortable because it's wide. My pinky sits right at the end because my hand is being, it has more of a fill inside of it. And one of the cool things about this one, I don't know if you can even see it, but you can see the heat treat along the edge. You see that coloration? Look at that right there. Goes all the way down. You can actually see the heat treat on the hen and rooster, and that's awesome. This one, it's just a stainless steel blade. However, it's an attractive stainless steel blade. So where do they save the money? Right here. Let me put this down. I'll show you. This is the sheath. This is just a crappy nylon sheath. That's it. There's nothing special about this. Hen and rooster has this beautiful leather sheath. It's beautiful. It's thick. It's strong. It smells good. It's got this little protective area. The Saddle Mountain Skinner has an attractive leather sheath. It's got the plastic insert. Again, the leather's thick. It smells good. So they put money into here. So when you're buying their knife, you are partially buying their sheath. Where this one here, the sheath is so crappy, but it fits on a belt, it holds a knife, and it doesn't go anywhere. So really, you're not showing off the sheath, you're showing off the blade. Putting these three together, I mean, it's attractive. You know what I mean? They're all comparable. They're all Skinners. They're all, built to do what they're built to do. So what this comes down to then is going to be performance. It's going to be edge. Those two I showed you before are both shave sharper out of the box. This one, let's see. Let's see how this edge is. And I have to say that I am pulling some hair, and it is shaving a little. It's not as strong as a shaver as the other two, but it's moving some hair. So what do we have? As far as if you wanted to buy a Skinner, would you be more apt to pay $100 to $130 for the Benchmade? Would you be more willing to pay $40 to $60 for this one, which is what I would do? Or would you say, hey, you know what? I can get the same job done with an ugly sheath for, $5 to $10. Well, here's the thing. The edge retention on those two are kick-ass. This is stainless steel. You're going to need to sharpen this after you use it because it's going to dull. It's just stainless steel. It's what it is. Because this is a Skinner, you're not going to be doing a whole lot of chopping with it. You're not going to be hitting a lot of hard things with it. So if you use it for its intended use, you're not going to chip this blade. If you use it for what I use it for, you're going to chip this friggin' blade probably. But that's what we're going to go outside and test. I just wanted to give you a nice close-up and a rundown and to show it next to a few of its others. I have to say that moving this thing around in the light, it is really, really attractive. It's a nice blade. It's comfortable in the hand, fairly, not really, really comfortable. However, remember this, that my hands are gigantic. I do like that it has a little finger guard, even though it's not the most, well-honed finger guard. There's no choil. There is giant jimping. It does have a nice little palm swell. It does have, a hammer end that is, I guess you can call this jimped. That's some pretty aggressive jimping, if that's what we're going to call it. But it seems like it would get the job done. But seeming like and doing are two different things. So let's go outside and do. Okay, so I'm easily distracted. Rather than start outside, I'm going to start inside. This is a Skinner. If I do this to my skin, I'm going to cut my skin. I'm not going to cut that just by doing that. So let's skin with it, right? I have to push down pretty hard to get it to break the skin, but once it does, I don't know if you guys can see that, it actually cut fairly easy. So the hen and rooster, I barely push. That thing sinks right in. The Benchmade, I barely push. That thing sinks right in. Those two blades are phenomenal. This one, you see that I have to push down, but once I get it going, I can see skinning with this. It seems like, it's just going to take a little bit more pressure, but if you're out in the woods and you're hungry, who cares about pressure? You just want to eat. This thing seems like it will get the job done if you're using this as a Skinner. I think you can spend $5 to $10 and actually skin with this. All right, now let's go outside. All right, so this is a skinning knife, not a bushcraft knife. It's not a survival knife, but let's see if it can do some of the more simple and basic survival knife tasks, like shave down a piece of wood. And I have to say, you have to find the angle, but once you do, it does the job. $5 to $10 worth, and it's doing the job more of a $5 to $10 knife. So let's see if we can get some proper feather sticking going. Ooh, those are tight little curls, and I just cut them off. All right, let's see. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. All right, let's see here. This is feather stick porn right here. Look at how tight those curls are. Those are just spindly little guys right there. So let's see if we can do this. Not so bad. Not so bad. So I don't know if I would use it for chopping hardwood, but for some softwood, if you're out and you're camping and you're needing to get some stuff done, this will get the job done. Let me notch with it real quick. I already have a jumbo notch right there, so I'm gonna put it next to it. Wow, that actually sank in there pretty well for a first cut. So let's see. So let's make our little tent post notch, right, is right there. But now we're going to finish it off, and we're going to make an actual notch here, a building block notch, the old Lincoln log. Now it's going through, it's working, not as easily as some of the high-end knives I've done this with, but it's not about how easy it is, it's about will it do the task. And so far, good old Jim Frost down in Tennessee, even though this is built in China, and I'll tell you what, talking about the cost and why is it so cheap, blah 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 blah, that's part of the reason. It's designed here in Tennessee, and they ship it to China to build. And you think, well, I don't want that because it's made in China. Well, guess what, guys? A lot of shit is made in China. It's just the way it is. So because it's so cheap to make out there, they send it over there to have it made. You know what I mean? And while I'm Mr. USA, and I don't like that, I just ruined it. But it was going, and then I accidentally tore that up. But you can see it does. It takes a little bit of effort, but it can notch and things like that. Again, not what it's made to do. It's made to do this. It's made to skin. But it will handle other things. So light work chopping, yes. Shaving down sticks, yes. Skinning, yes. Can you notch and do little tiny bushcrafty stuff with effort? Yeah, you can do that. But I know the number one question you guys are asking is, but can you throw it without knocking these off? Let's go find out. All right. Okay, guys, we are going to throw this Little Elk Skinner. Now, balance-wise, yikes, I don't even know where it is. It's at the first rivet. So we're gonna be weighted correctly for throwing, but the overall weight is kind of light. We'll see how it flies. Did you guys hear the doing in that? I'm assuming that is, I already scuffed up the handle here, but I'm assuming that is scales to blade. All right, let's try again. Well, it didn't doing, so that's a good thing. Let me back up again and try this. This is a really hard one to figure out so far. Well, so I thought. Okay, so can you go back 5 yards and chuck this thing? Yeah. Do you want to? No, because that boing means you're going to break it. So let me say this: if I use this not as a thrower, not as a true hardwood chopper, if I use this as a skinner or an everyday daily task knife, you know what I mean? Let's take some of this here. Let's see what we have. So let's say I need to just make little kindling or little project sticks or whatever. This thing will do the job, and it'll do it well. I actually don't hate it, and I have to say that I like holding it. For the price point, you cannot go wrong. I know I haven't done much, but have I damaged the edge? Have I sacrificed the blade in any way? No, it's still, aside from the dirt marks, it still looks like it did when it came out of the box. Let's see, did I dull it? Did I really, really devastate the sharpness and the cutability? No, it still does exactly what it's supposed to do. And here's the thing. If you don't mind a knife that's made in China, just the stigma of it, and if you don't mind having a cheap nylon sheath, then you shouldn't mind spending $5 to $10 for an actual skinning knife. This thing so far isn't bad. I'm going to have to do a few more frost knives until I find one that is. But as it stands, this knife right here will, with a little bit of work, it'll get the job done that a more expensive knife will do. So what do I think about this little elk skinner? I think for the price, it's actually a good knife. And this is probably going to be a good, you know, daily use knife if your daily uses, you know, doesn't put you in the Rambo category. If you just need a knife that, I have to cut open this package. This is going to cut open the package. I just caught a fish. I need to cut off its head. Bam, there you go. I need to cut some fishing line. Boom, there you go. I need to cut some twine and tie something to my truck. There you go. This is literally a very, very capable everyday carry if you are not, you know, crazy bushman. You'll get a ton of use out of this knife. And to sharpen it, right now it doesn't need it. After what I just did with it, it should be fine. But when I do need to sharpen it, all I need to do is use a stone or a rod. And being, you know, 420 stainless, I will get this edge back really, really quick when I lose it, because I have not lost it yet. So this is Frost Cutlery, guys. And usually when you say it's worth the money, that means you're saying, oh yeah, it's $100 and it's worth it. This is like $5 to $10 and it's worth it. So Frost Cutlery, it's a little elk skinner, and it's not too shabby. I am Donnie B all day, and until next knife.